Welcome to another episode of Barman Saturdays. And this week I decided to take a look at Barbie, A Christmas Carol. And before I start talking about the adaptation itself, I think I should talk about the quality of the DVD I got at Goodwill, because it was terrible. I had to clean this disc in order to get to play my PS2, reasonably well. And even with that, I was still having a lot of audio and visual hiccups where, like, the film would just suddenly stop and start, and I'd have audio echoes, or the audio wouldn't be properly synced. It was a rough experience, okay? So, I'm not particularly thrilled with that, and I shouldn't hold it against the film, because let's face it, these issues are caused by the quality of the used DVDs that someone donated to Goodwill, because if you look at the back of that DVD, it's all scuffed up and stuff like that, so those issues were caused, by someone not taking proper care of their DVDs. Now, thankfully, I got this on sale, so it was only $1.50, so I don't feel as cheated as I would be, if I spent a whole $3 on it. Because I can buy, a new old movie for $3.74 at Walmart, or go to Dollar General and find some for like $4 or $5, or go to Dollar Tree and potentially get some old movies for $1, that are brand new, and wrapping and everything, and not have to worry about those sorts of issues. Now, thankfully, if you go to Goodwill, at least the one I go to, the DVDs are usually nowadays, opened up already, so you don't have to worry about taking tape and stuff off in order to, take a look at the disc itself. But yeah, if you're buying used discs at Goodwill, you might want to take a look at the disc itself before you agree to buy it. On the grounds, if it's too scuffed up or something and may not work, there's no way to refund your money. You're just stuck with a very bad DVD that you may not be able to play and just be out of money that you'd rather have kept, to buy something else on the cheap. So just be aware of that, if you're buying used movies there. As far as this film's concerned, it's just going in the trash after this, because I'm not going to watch this again. Not because it's a bad film. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's an okay adaptation. It's not the best adaptation. In fact, it's sort of odd, because if I had to pick something to compare it to, I'd probably go with Scrooged. I mean, sure, Scrooge is a lot more mean-spirited in its comedy, and this one's a lot more lighthearted with its comedic approach, with Chuzzlewit, Chuzzlewit, The cat's name's really weird. I think it'd stand out more, but honestly, I just want to constantly put a wits at the end, like J-Wits or something, But, yeah, the cat usually, is trying to get food throughout the movie, and failing at it miserably. Forgets, that he's basically a spirit cat when he's in, the present or, the past. And he's just like, I'm trying to get this turkey! And just goes flying through some plates and smacks right into the floor, for entertainment value. So, yeah, it's a very lighthearted comedy adaptation at its heart. So, that's why it makes you think of Scrooge so much, because, it's a mean-spirited comedy in a lot of places, but it's still a comedy adaptation. There's also the fact that they hit a similar beat in Scrooge with how, the main character in Scrooge, turns his future wife into being a lot like him when it comes to Christmas. Basically throwing his same line in someone else's face when they're asking for charity help. And the same thing happens in this film, with Eden's best friend Catherine, throwing her whole line about how it's a selfish world and only the selfish succeed right in her face. And that was, Eden's, philosophy for life when she was, in charge of everything. She's like, it's a selfish world and only the selfish succeed. And that's why I'm so selfish and self-centered and throw constant tantrums about how everything is about me, me, me. So, yeah. You got your standard, ultimately lessons to be learned about how you shouldn't be selfish and how everything isn't about you, and it's not a selfish world entirely, so try and spread the good cheer, So, standard lessons and all, but, presented in a very much more kid-friendly way than, most other versions of A Christmas Carol. Like, you're not going to see a Grim Reaper version of the Ghost of Christmas Future in this film. If anything, she looks like a queen, very regal, and, serious and all about business, and she actually, will talk back to you, instead of just being like a Grim Reaper character that carries a scythe and just points a finger, while wearing a cloak, just doesn't say anything ever. But yeah, as far as the adaptation itself goes, I'd say it's an okay film for a younger audience. Maybe even a good film for a younger audience. But for an older audience, it's a bit iffy. I mean, if you're in the mood for a lighthearted romp, you might be able to get into this film a bit. Otherwise, you're probably not going to care about it. And I suppose I could have gone on a rant about, how ugly this film is, because its CGI looks awful for 2008, but honestly, picking out a film for its visuals just isn't usually my style, because let's face it, visuals shouldn't be the most important thing you rag on constantly. I mean, if you rag on the visuals all the time, you lose sight of the core gameplay or of storytelling, and ultimately, I should be more worried about the characters than about what the film looks like. Now, if it was about his life as a jungle or something, I'd feel the need to put a lot more emphasis on it. But yeah, it definitely looks really ugly and doesn't look like it was appropriate for 2008. But otherwise, I can work with it. I mean, I've seen worse, way worse. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. It's a lighthearted romp, and have fun with it if you want. Otherwise, just pass it on by, as you're probably not missing on much. Till next time, then. See ya.
That's not. Is that me? Go, Cheswick, go! Oh, Chuzzlewit, I'm sorry. That would have been your Christmas dinner.